Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sunita Magre, Professor, Department of Education, University of Mumbai. Today we are going to deal with a new topic, the writing reflective journal. In this session, we are discussing about the historical roots and the theoretical backdrop of the reflective journal. What is meant by journal and what are the various types of the journals? What is meant by reflection, and today's topic is focused on the reflective journals. What are the reason or why we write the reflective journals and which steps are followed to reflect effectively? And what is the reflective process framework and the significance of writing a journal? Then benefits and the various writing styles of the reflective journal. In assessment of reflective journal. And the last one, as we know, that is the conclusion, that is the key takeaways and points for the reflection. Objective of this session is, now when you go through this session, you will be able to understand the concept of journal and the reflection. You will be able to understand the various types of the journal. You will be able to explain the steps of reflect effectively and the significance and the benefits of the writing journal. And most important objective is we have to explain the writing styles of the reflective journal. Learning outcomes. After end of the session, you will be able to explain or you can clarify the concept of journal and reflection and the various types of the journal. You will be able to implement the steps of reflect effectively and write the reflections about the text, message, events, whatever. Then using various writing styles of reflective journal. And you can suggest the various text, messages, events for writing reflective journal. Now let's take the historical backdrop or the theoretical backdrop of the reflective journal. We know John Dewey is an educational philosopher, and we know the contribution of John Dewey in the field of education. As per his view, he says teacher as a reflective practitioner. John Dewey gives a lot of contribution in reflective teaching. What is the reflective teaching? It's a process of self-observation and self-evaluation. And John Dewey give a lot of contribution in the reflective teaching. Then after that, number of the people studied the reflective journal, writing about the reflective journal, how to use the reflective journal. Then Valleys, Hatton and Smith, Richards and Lockhart's. So as per the Richard and Lockhart, they introduced the reflective approach to teaching in second language classroom. It's basically the theoretical background of this reflective journal, writing reflective journal. It is based on the language teaching. And their theory focuses on a number of important dimensions of teaching, including teachers, learners, their benefits, decision making, teacher's role. So all they are discussing in this. Then after that, Moon and the Evans, they also agreed the reflective learning helps students to gain and develop a deeper style of learning. Then Wilson and Ferrell also illustrated how language teacher can use reflective writing as a mean of reflective practice for professional development purpose. As per the Wilson, reflective journal create positive student-instructor relationship and offer writers a record of experiences and the personal growth. Even Donald Scunn also developed a notion of reflection in action and on action, means reflecting while you are doing it or reflecting after you have done it. So this is about the historical root and theoretical background of the reflective journal. Now, let's go to the what is journal. The journal is a record that stores every details of your life, ranging from various events, various ideas, your feelings, and your daily thoughts and the memories. Through the journal is one of the way to store details of your life. Then you will be able to remember why you did, what you were thinking, what are your feelings, and what had happened when you were younger. Means we can use the journal in various ways. We can say that in shortly, we can say that a journal is a record booklet which includes some aspects according to which it is to be written. Journal includes the document style formats. Journal is a sort of diary. Journal is a broad sense in a regular record of your experiences and your studies and arranged in a systematic manner. Then, various types of the journal. If you have started the thinking about writing a journal, right? So, means you know the how many types of the journal writing, or how many types of the journal. So, what are that here? I mentioned 5 types of the journal. One is the reflective journal. Second is the gratitude journal. Third one is the travel journal. Fourth is a dream journal. Fifth is a Bible journal. Now, we'll take one by one. Reflective journal. We can study it in detail because the session is on only the reflective journal. So, the reflective journal is a place to write down your daily reflection entries. And these daily reflection entries means your experiences. It will be something good or bad also. So whatever your experiences, you can reflect. Or the experiences is also depend upon the, or whatever you want to write it is depend upon your the past experiences. Then gratitude journal. Gratitude journal is a collection of things that you are grateful of. You can use a gratitude journal. Focus on the positive things in your life and to record the people that you are thankful for. But just for an example, suppose you are filling up any kind of the examination form online and you have some difficulty. In that time, you can contact your colleague, your teacher, and those they are helping to you. And because you are facing a lot of technical glitches, and when you take the help from your colleagues or your teachers, then finally you will submit your examination form. So that time you should give the thankful to your teacher or your colleagues. That is known as the gratitude journal. Then travel journal. We know travel journal. The travel journals help you to write and document about your experiences you had during your trips. Now you are the students. So you can write the travel journal about your field trips, about your community works, or whatever the activity or your educational tour also. So means you have to travel. Then whatever things are happen, so you can organize the documentation, some pics, whatever it is. So or organize very well or a systematic in manner. So that is known as the reflective journal. Then dream journal. What is dream journal? A dream journal records your own dream experiences. Or you can journal, it is also known as a diary also. So your dream diary or your dream journal might include a record or your personal reflection seen in the dream as well as the experience while waking up from own. Then next one is the Bible journal. Bible journal means what are your feelings or what are your thoughts of that event or what is your philosophy. So it's based on your ethics, principle. So this is known as the Bible journal. Then what is reflection? Reflection is a metacognitive strategy that helps teachers or learners to think critical upon their experiences and decisions during their teaching or learning practice experiences and decision during their practical experiences. Now, means in a metacognitive studies, we have critical reflection or critical thinking. What is meant by critical thinking? Thinking on thinking. That is the truth. Means that is critical thinking involves the positive as well as the negative aspects also. And this reflection is a generic term for those intellectual and affective activities in which individuals engage to explore their experiences in order to lead to a new understanding, new appreciation, to a new experiences. Then what is reflective journal? You know what is journal, what is reflection, and then come to the point, what is reflective journal? Because you already studied the types of the journal. And then reflective journal, it is one of the important type of the journal. A reflective journal is a place to write down your own daily reflection entries. It can be something good or something bad that has happened to you that you can self-reflect on and learn from your past experience. This reflective journal helps you to identify important learning events that had happened in your life. There are a number of the events happen in our life. So from that event, which things do you learn? So this reflective journal identify your important learning events. The events include various relationships, your career, and your personal life. By writing a reflective journal, you can find out your source of inspiration. A reflective journal also provides a better understanding of your thought processes. Why we write the reflective journal? There are the 4 reasons why you write a reflective journal. As per the NCT Resolution 2014, they give the importance of the reflective journal. As we discussed, as John Dewey said, teacher as a reflective practitioner. And our regulation also say gives the importance of reflective journal. Then according to our national curriculum framework, 2005, we have to develop the critical thinking. And how we develop the critical thinking? Using the knowledge in various areas and the experiences from that areas. Then the critical thinking will be developed. So, according to our NCM 2005, this says it is the requirement. So, you have to do the critical thinking, take the decision, analyze your decision in a different situation. And when you analyze your decision in different situation, so you can develop various professional skills also. So there are the 4 reasons here I mentioned to understand the things that have happened, to reflect on why it happened this way, why this happened, and why this happened, this, and what are your future actions, your values, and what lesson you learned from your past experiences. And last reason is to share and get your thoughts and ideas from your mind. Your means it is your own ideas, it is your own thoughts. So this is the reason to write a reflective journal. In the reflective journal, the teachers put their thought, ideas, feelings, and the reflection. Now, how we reflect effectively? Reflective journal are used to explore the situation from a personal perspective, but generally within a context of learning from students' own experiences. They are used to reflect in 2 ways, that is reflection in action and reflection on action. Then according to the SCUN, there are the 2 types of the reflection, one during and one after an activity or the event, that is in action and the on action. Now the reflection in action. Here I express the steps or the stages. Then reflection in action, when you are thinking about a reflective, why you are in activity, you are using reflection in action, and it could be include your experiences, your own thinking. Then you are thinking about what you do the next, and when you're thinking what you do the next, then you have to take the direct action. So this is about the reflection in action. Then what is reflection on action? You can do reflect on action once the activity has finished, based on what you can remember about it. Steps back into the experiences. You can explore your memory and retrieve the things. What you can recall, reflect, and understand what has happened and to draw the lessons from the experiences. And that means these are the process, how the reflection on action, you can thinking about something that has happened and you are thinking differently next time on the basis of your experiences and taking your own time, you can express it. Then steps of reflect effectively. There are the 3 steps when we are reflect effectively. Number 1, before the experience, during the experience, and after the experience. Now, before the experience means think about the things that could be happen. What are the things that you feel might be a challenge? So what are the things about you feel might be, now this is the challenge, right? And the things that you can do to prepare the experiences. Now, at the time of experience means at the time of the activity, that is during the experience. So you can observe what is happening at that moment. For example, when the event is going on and something has happened, it may be good or bad, don't know. If whatever it is, good or something is happened, then on that situation, what is the decision taken? Which decision is required? So that is your particular decision. Then is it working? What do you expect? Whatever the decision you take, it's the expected one, or how to deal with your challenges. And when you deal with the challenges, you think to make your experiences successful. After the experiences, what are the after the experiences? After the experiences means you can describe your thoughts immediately after, when you have more emotional distance from them. When the program is finished, when the event is finished, or teaching learning process is finished, or the classroom as teaching a particular classroom, whatever the topic teaches by the teachers, and after finishing that topic, then you will reflect it. So this is about the after the reflection. Now, what is the reflective process framework, or how you write the reflective, reflectively writing or reflective journal, how you write it, or we can say it is the what is the process framework of reflective writing. Now, when there are the 3 W's are important to write reflective. What 3 W's? Number 1, what, next, so what, and third, what next. So these are the 3 W's. Now, in that, what? In what feeling? Means, in what feeling you have to write the description. So, what description you have to write? So, you recall an event and write it down descriptive. Means, what happened? Who was involved in the program, who was involved in the event or program, who are participating, what are their role, what is your role. So you have to write descriptively in what first W or the first stage of the what you have to describe it. Second, so what means whatever is happening. So how will you interpret? How will you interpret? Means suppose there is one of the events, one of the classroom situation, one of the text, one of the message, one of the program. Then after finishing that program, you have to take some few minutes or the sum of the time, and after that you have to interpret the event. Means how will you interpret? For example, you say now the program was good. Why it is good? What are the reason of goodness? Now the program is bad. Why it is bad? What are the reasons? So you have to interpret. Means you have to think about what is important, what are your interests, and which are the aspect of the event, idea, or situation. You can explain that ideas, event, and the situation. And how this event or whatever the program is different from the previous one or the others. So this is about the so what. And then the next W is what next. Means it is your outcome. When you attend that program, you describe it, you interpret it, then what do you learn from that program? That is your outcome. What do you learn from that program? Then which things you have to learn? Then how that things you have to apply in future? Means what you have learned, then how that learning you will be applied in your future. That is your. So this is the process framework. Now, there are the various styles of reflective journal, or it's various the education provide the style, but there is a no limit of the word or no style of the reflective journal. How you can say no style and the reflective style? Means no style means suppose you can create your own reflective journal writing style. You can create your own. These are just of the examples. Then in 1995, Hatton and Smith, based on the levels of reflection, they create 4 ways of styling. That is the descriptive writing, descriptive reflection, dialogic reflection, and critical reflection. Now, what is descriptive writing? Just on our previous slide, that is a description. So same thing you will be applied. Means the description of the events. Right? Then descriptive reflection shows more evidences of deeper consideration, but it is in a descriptive language. Then dialogic reflection means a stepping back from events and exploring the events and their actions. Then critical reflection means an awareness that is located by multiple perspectives in the bigger context. So this is about the Hatton and the Smith. Next one, it is the Valley. Valley 1977 provide the 5 types of the reflective journal. What are that 5 types of the reflective journal? One is the technical reflection, then reflection in action, and on action, which we are already discussed. Then deliberative reflection, personalistic reflection, and the critical reflection. In the technical reflection, it involves thinking about general instruction. That is the teaching of techniques of skill. Teacher or the learners engage in this type of reflection are directed by a straightforward application of research to teaching. They were also inclined to match their own performance to external guidelines established by education authorities or the researchers. Then reflection in action and on action, it involves thinking about one's own personal teaching performance or your unique situation. This process also includes using one's own values, your own beliefs, your own classroom context, and student as a source of knowledge for action. Teachers engage in this type of the reflection made and justified decision based on their unique situation and the experiences. Deliberative reflection. Deliberative reflection means it involves a thinking about a whole range of teaching concerns, including students, your curriculum, your instructional strategies, rules, regulation, organization of the classroom. And this type of reflection emphasizes decision making based on teachers' personal beliefs, values, various researches, various experiences, and the advice or the communication taken from the others also. Then personalistic reflection. Personalistic reflection, it involves thinking about one's own personal growth, your relationship with students, your relationship with your colleagues, your relationship with the parents. Means we can say it is the holistic growth, right? So teacher engage in this type of reflection, emphasis and very well concern with students' affective needs. Then critical reflection. We know that in critical that we are the positive and the negative aspects. Our thinkings are broader in dimension like social dimension, moral dimension, or the political dimension. Then DIEP model of the reflective writing. What is DIEP model? D for describe, I for interpret, E for evaluate, and P for plan. Now in this model, describe means whatever the event, whatever the program, whatever the activity. So at the time of activity, at the time of that program, what happened? And when whatever the things is happen, so what did you do? What you can do, right? You have to describe in this. What happened and what is your role for doing something. So you can describe. Then interpret. What does the experience mean to you as a learner, thinker, or writer? Means your role is very, very important. How do you write the experiences or how do you interpret as a learner? You have to interpret as a thinker, you have to interpret as a writer, you have to interpret as an academician, you have to interpret as the administrative part. So why? So this is the interpretation. Then evaluate. Whatever you have to learn from that program or whatever the experiences gained from that program, from that event. how that experiences are valuable for you and why that experiences are valuable. So you can do this. Then plan. Whatever you learn from that event, program, text, messages, or whatever it is, so your community work also. So how will you learn what and how you have to take the experience and how you have to implement in your future programs. So this is about DIEP model. Then assessment of reflective journal. Now you are the B.Ed students. So it is one of the part, a very important part in your project-based activities, writing a reflective journal. Means you are participated in the field trips, you are participated in the community work, you are participating in SUPW work, you are participating in various project-based activities. Then when you participate in that, then it is your role to write the reflective journal of that activity. And when you have to submit your reflective journal, your teacher will be assess your reflective journal. So there are the three ways of the assessing the journal, that is the descriptive, analytical, and critical response. In a descriptive reflective journal, when you one describe a personal experiences in a professional way, relative information about the situation is provided, a specific problem is summarized, and you have to describe one or two responses or the outcome you have to describe. Then analytical, it suggests the immediate and underlying cause of the problem. It explores the effects of the problem or the challenges. Challenges are received from your management or your organizational perspective or from the participants. Then critical response. Critical response, it makes meaning references to theories or the participants. It provides evidence of learning through experiences and the readings. There is a scope for application of learning in future. Means whatever the challenges you have to face in that, so definitely we will give the solutions, and for that solution you have to implement that solution in a various condition or in a particular situation. So this is, and lastly your evaluation. In order to evaluate the reflective journal, one needs to take the questions how it can be improved as a description of experiences, how it can be improved as an analysis of experiences, and how can it be improved as a critical response of the experiences. So this is the assessment about the reflective journal. Then what are the importance of the reflective journal or the significance of the reflective journal? As we know, we already discussed it. It's just an one conclusion side. A journal offers you a private place to write and reflect your thoughts. They are not written for others to read rather than yourself. Means you can write the journals, and when you, after finishing your writing, you thoroughly go through your journal writing, so you will get your ideas. You will write your genuine stories in the form of journal, whether you are happy or unhappy. You can write the journal. Journal keep our mood. You can remember your memorable days as your birthday, as your holiday trips, educational trips, and go in the old memories and write down here the journal. Right. Now, what are the benefits from the journal? There are the number of the benefits from the journal. For journal, we can say it is diaries also same. Journal and the diaries are the same. Some people refer diary, some people refer journal. But journal. So the first benefit of the benefit of the journal is that keep your thoughts organized. So journal help us to organize your thoughts and make them apprehensible. You can record your daily events, your thoughts, your feelings about certain experiences or the opinions. Your journey allows you to tag and archive your journal entries. Then improve your writing. Journalizing or the writing journal helps you to train your writing. If you want to practice or improve your own writing, the best thing is to start the writing of journal. For the starting point, you are not writing up perfectly. But when you write something, you have to go through it, then you will get the idea, more ideas, how you are writing systematically. So definitely your writing is improved. Set and achieve your goal. A journal is a good place to write your goals, your goals, your ambitions, your aspiration. By keeping all the things in your journal, you can monitor your progress, feel motivated to continue to focus on your next journey. Then record ideas on the board. Benefits of keeping journal is that you can record all your ideas in one place, anytime and anywhere. Whenever an idea comes from your mind, you can write it down in your journal. You can then revisit these ideas later on to look for new things from conclusions, and you will get a fresh idea. And next one is the relieve stress. Writing your feelings or when you writing the journal, your feelings and experiences are important. And when you writing down your feelings helps you to bring down your anxieties, your frustrations, and your pain on a journal. This can help you to reduce and release from stress which you have accumulated the time. A good way to relieve stress is to write in the stream of conclusion consciousness time. Then, for example, when you wake up in the morning and that time you expressing your thoughts systematically. So that time you have to start the writing. Definitely you will relieve from the tensions. Then allow yourself to self-respect. Journalizing is a good way to help us to stop, to take step back and reflect on ourselves. We can self-respect on gratitude or what we did today and write it in our diary. Daily reflections can also be done at night before going to sleep. Then boost your memory. Your brain is likely store information that you have written down in your journal. Your brain will make stronger connection with the information you have learned after you write them down in a journal, make it easier for you and recall them for your future plans. Then inspire creativity. Writing a journal is a great way to unleash your creativity. Everyone has the potential to be a creative, just that most of us have not discovered. But in your community work, when you are in the group, so you have some responsibility, and that time definitely your mind will be creative. Everyone have a creative person. I got one quote according to the Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha says कि दिन में से आप अपने आप में बात करना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर आप खुद से बात नहीं करते हैं तो आप एक अच्छे व्यक्तित्व से बात करना खो देंगे. दैट इज द क्रिएटिव. मीन्स आपके जैसा दुनिया, आप यूनिक हो इस दुनिया में. आप यूनिक होने के कारण ही आप में क्रिएटिविटी है, आप में कुछ अलग है. So definitely you can share your thoughts with you. Then this is just a summary, or we can say the reflective cycle, means the descriptions, your feelings, then your evaluation, analysis, text, and the conclusion. This is about the reflective cycle. Now the key takeaways. And the point for reflection, you can discuss the process of journal writing. You have to read the reflective journal entries and you have to apply the reflective practices. And these are the references. Thank you very much.